going on? Born for Sports. And we are at week 9 in the NFL season. Giants, Raiders, Las Vegas on deck. Giants got to go on the road. It's going to be an interesting game, more interesting than it looked before Monday came, because the Raiders just fired their coach, their GM over there, and old friend Antonio Pierce, head coach, getting the interim tag right now, and he's going to have his team ready to play. But they'll also bench Garoppolo, so they're going to be having a rookie quarterback out there. And the Giants are coming off a tough, basically choke job loss, but a tough loss to the Jets last week at a soggy, torrential rain MetLife Stadium last week, and a game that they should have won. I feel like I've said this like 2 or 3 times this year already, twice with the Bills game and now the Jet game. A game they had won. Graham Gano missed the kick that he usually makes, a chip shot for him, and he misses a big kick, and then the Jets got down the field, tied the game, and won in overtime. But it was a tough loss last week, and the Giants look like they're in a prime position to bounce back. And also, the Giants got news, 2 things. Number one, Daniel Jones will be back this week, unexpectedly, I might add, coming from this neck injury that he's been suffering. There was reports last week before the game against the Jets that the Giants were targeting Week 10 against the Cowboys next week for Daniel Jones' possible return. You guys know how I feel about this situation. I feel like this is real dicey, man. The neck injuries with Daniel Jones, he hasn't even played well either. And now on top of that, he has a neck injury. I feel like, he's basically one hit away, God forbid. And I hope it doesn't happen, all the best. You don't want to see these things happen to players getting injured like this. But coming back from a neck injury twice in 3 years, this is going to be tough. I'm very, very cautious to see what I see tomorrow from him and the rest of the season. He has not been playing well this year at all, and besides a half against the Cardinals. But now coming back from this neck injury, it's going to be tough for him to get through the season. I still feel like the Giants need to move on after the season and find a replacement. But that's a story for another day. So, Daniel Jones, this is his chance, man. This is his chance. If he can show, basically he's a franchise quarterback for the second half of the season, I guess, the whole winning meaningless games will count to this brass or whatever, to ownership. But hopefully he shows that he can take a step and become the player that they pay him to be, because so far he has not. And a neck injury on top of that doesn't help the cause. So let's see what happens. Tyrod Taylor, he got injured during the Jet game, didn't return. He's obviously out tomorrow, and, he had some good moments. He actually, I feel, played better than Daniel Jones has played all season, and the team still wasn't scoring a lot of points. So this offense has just been stuck in neutral for most of the season, besides a half against the Arizona Cardinals. And it's brutal. And it's, and people want to say Brian Daboll, they want to come at him, and he's going to get his criticism because he's the head coach. And that's fair. But he's not working with a quarterback that he needs for this offense to work. And the offensive line that he needs to work. So, it's a situation where I think he's getting a little too much criticism. But that's, the name of the game from when it comes to media and fans. They're always going to point fingers, so it is what it is. I'm a realist. I see what I see, and I call it how I see it. And even though he has not really had a great year coaching, he's made some questionable decisions with 4th downs and stuff like that. Last week, I felt like that wasn't one to question. He had a 3rd-string practice squad quarterback in the game. The game was over and that's a field goal Gano makes 9 out of 10 times. And it didn't happen. And, he took heat this week. I feel like it's a little unfair. But it didn't work out. And when you're 2-6, fingers are going to be pointing. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is, So hopefully, it'll get better for his end. He's still a second-year coach. And, he'll have them ready to go. I'm looking at this game, And I just feel like, if the Giants don't win this game, when is the next win coming? We got the Cowboys next week in Dallas. This is a team, the Raiders, they're in transition. They got turmoil over there. They got an interim coach who has no head coaching experience in the NFL level. Antonio Pierce, old friend. Love him as a Giant, always will be. But, he's going to have, I think he'll give a boost, to the locker room morale there. But they're starting a rookie quarterback in Connell. And the way this Giant defense has really played well the last few weeks, man, they have been a shining bright star. In an otherwise terrible season by this team offense and everything, they have stepped up and answered the bell, man. They have been great. They have been basically what I envisioned before the season when the pieces got made and eventually will become. I heard a lot of people, the offense is going to be way ahead of the defense. The defense we're more worried about. I was the guy that was saying, hey, this defense has talent. They got speed. They're going to be good. And now they have turned into that, a very good unit so far. And I just feel like it's open season. They can get to this guy. The Raiders have some weapons on offense. They got Devontae Adams, who's one of the top 3 receivers in the NFL. They got Jacoby Myers, who's had a good year. The good number 2 receiver, solid player. Jacobs running the ball. He was the rushing champion last year. Pretty good offensive line. But I feel like the Giants should win this game. I mean, I know it's a tall order going on the road and everything. And they just got traded Leonard Williams, which is another thing. Another thing for this team that's a little bit of law for the defense, because now they got to probably use Robinson and maybe get some young players, some burn in there. But I know Leonard Williams is going to be a loss for the team because he did a lot of stuff that weren't seen in the box score. And I love the trade package that we got for him, by the way. We'll get to another time. But I feel like the Giants defense should win this game for us. The Raiders are coming off turmoil, not a good season, tumultuous week. This is a game the Giants can't lose this game, man. If they lose this game, I don't know when the next win coming, to be honest. This is a game they have to win. And I need to see Daniel Jones be the better player and lead his team. And Darren Waller is a big loss. That's a big loss for this offense. He was coming on. Of course, he was coming on when Daniel Jones wasn't the quarterback. We'll get to that another day. But Darren Waller is a big loss for this offense. And it's going to be a little tougher to move the ball. But this offense of the Raiders with a rookie quarterback should be food for the Giant defense. And as long as we don't screw it up with turnovers, we should win this game. No excuses. Make sure that you like and share this content and subscribe to Ball for Sports. Let's go Giants.